What's good, YouTube? It's Ball 2 with an video back with another banger. Today we be reacting to World War 3 just got way worse. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all, I'm not gonna be fighting no meaningless ass war. That's just me. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Let's do it.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though that the US-Iran war has gotten so much more worse, and we are now verging on into territories of which we cannot retreat from. This is bad.
The US-Iran war is widening fast. What started as a conflict between 3 countries has now dragged a staggering 13 into the fallout.
And I just gotta say, after seeing and absorbing various medias related to this war, I now have a better understanding as to why all these countries and regions are involved, and that's because Iran is crashing out. Basically, they're threatening to destroy the Strait of Hormuz, which is basically, quickly sum it up, is a waterway necessary to transport vital energy supplies like oil. In fact, based off of what I heard, 20% of all the global oil transported is transported through this strait, and many Asian and European countries use this for their energy production to keep their societies alive, essentially. So if that is threatened, a lot of countries will starve in under a year. And Iran is basically saying, hey, continue with this war. You'll see just how far we're willing to go. We will starve you out.
And today marked a major escalation because Iran struck UK military bases in Cyprus, meaning for the first time this war has now officially touched European territory.
And they're only doing that because basically they've also said any country within their perimeter, their radius, that their ballistics missiles can reach, they will be attacking US military bases because, hey, you're in cahoots with the USA. And we do not like that. Essentially, a lot of this is collateral damage.
Now, in response, the UK has authorized the United States to use its military bases to help destroy Iran's missile systems, and a member of the European Parliament for Cyprus is already calling for action.
Cyprus is an EU territory, and one attack on a member state should be considered as an attack to the entire European Union.
This is how we gradually slide into something that becomes a global phenomenon, and we don't want this.
Me personally, again, I'm not getting involved in this war. Again, I'm not doing it. Like, if they want to throw me in jail, they can do it. Like, because I know this whole thing is because they want us to fight for Israel. And I'm not fighting for that. That's not something I just want to get involved for. Like, if it was something that was just like, I guess it was something that we just, like, we had to hop in and do, then I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody striked the US and then we're like, you know, in arms, ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. But the fact that you guys really got involved and you like President Trump is getting puppet, like he's a puppet. He's a puppet. They're telling him to do what he has to do their things, and he's doing it. And I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. Now, I'm not fighting no shit like that. Give me some time. Give me the time in jail. I don't know how much time you'll get, but if it's 50 years, then shit. I might have to fight in that way. I might have to, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
We want and we
like
expect a united response
no
from
ideas.
the entire European Union.
And that wasn't the only development today. Lebanon has now been dragged into this conflict as well after Hezbollah launched strikes on Israel in solidarity with Iran.
Yes, Hezbollah. We've not heard from them in a while, but they're now back in the fray. And if you guys don't know, according to Wikipedia, Hezbollah is a Shia Islamist Lebanese political party and paramilitary group. So they're pretty much what we would consider extremist. And to my knowledge, Shia is a subset faith under Islam.
Bro, that's the cue from Fortnite. That's the cue from Fortnite, y'all. You know what I'm saying? What is the now I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but what is this? Like, what is this considered? Like, I don't know what this is. And this, like, is this like a church? Or like yeah, this is a place of worship. It gotta be. It gots to be. It's a place of worship, definitely.
Which makes up 10 to 15% of the faith. And these people, they're basically the barbarians of the Islamic world. They literally, especially during Ramadan, which is now, are sacrificing their lives to die under this supposed holy war. They don't care about dying. It's actually an honor for them to die in battle, especially with the killing of their...
So they're just like the you remember the Asian the people the Japanese folks when they was doing the kamikaze shits. Yo, they was some real crash outs. These niggas are on a whole different crash out field, boy. giving up your life to do this stuff. Oh yeah, they're a threat. But if we just never bothered them, if we never got involved, we would be straight. But the fact that we're involved is what's making it like scary shit. So now what if we have, even though a lot of people say this, that the Twin Tower shit was a hoax, what if we have some shit like this happen again? Just cause we don't know how to mind our business.
Leader, the Ayatollah, a lot of these people are now globally Shia, the Muslims who practice that specific type of Islam, are kind of now banding together and are trying to F shit up. Honestly, this is very dangerous. And it's funny, someone in the comment section said, we were so close, bro, with an image of GTA. I mean, hey man, another person said, imagine World War III starting because a guy wanted to cover up his files. Wink, wink. I'm sure you guys all understand what that's about. Yeah. It's just sad that we are now being dragged into a potential global war because of one tiny little city in the desert who can't stop beefing with Muslims. It's amazing.
Solidarity with Iran. Meanwhile, Qatar and Saudi Arabia were pulled in a pretty major way after a number of their energy facilities were hit. Qatar, which supplies around 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas, they were forced to suspend their operations. And the same goes for Saudi. Their largest oil refinery had to temporarily halt production after a large fire broke out. And then there's NATO.
So yeah, Iran is basically attacking, again, territories that are in coalition with the USA and Israel that either have military bases and or provides energy to the USA, which includes Qatar, a Kuwait, a Saudi Arabia, and I believe also Iraq. That's why we went into that war. Not for weapons of mass destruction, but for oil. Everything is oil, energy, and domination. And as for the rest of these countries, they basically are regional countries where we have US military bases that we can use in collaboration with the governments from those countries to basically have ports closer to the Middle East in order to attack our enemies, in this case, Iran. Another person said it's literally Iran versus everyone, bruh. I mean, shout out to them. Yeah. They're really tough. Like, they're very prideful and tough people.
And then there's NATO. We got their comments for the first time after their Secretary General called Iran a threat to Europe, Israel, and the wider region, saying Europe is really stepping up after this weekend's operations.
And yeah, unfortunately, European countries and certain Asian countries are probably gonna have to enter the fray because literally, as the professor explained yesterday, but we were watching this now today.
That's what's it called? Predictive history. I think that's his channel. But yeah, he be dropping some gems, man. And a lot of this shit, is gonna bring a World War III. A lot, and then on top of that, a lot of conflict within certain countries as well. So you're gonna have conflicts within the country, but then you're also gonna have World War III. The world's it does look like we're coming to an end. And what's crazy is that it's not even us. It's not even the people. It's not even the people on it's not the people on Iran side. It's not the people on it is the people on Israel side. And it's not even like it's not even the people in the US or the people in China. You know who it is? It's the government officials, it's the politicians, it's the people with power within these countries that's causing things to go to hell. It's not the people. It's not like the people like me and you. We're just sitting here chilling, want to react to videos and live our lives. But you know what the politicians and money hungry, old baby boomer, greedy ass motherfuckers want to do? They want to start shit so they have the richest lineage of all times. Or they just want all the money in the world to just have it for no reason. There's no reason for it, but they just want it. If they wanted to buy up land and live in a secluded area, they could do that. But instead, they want to bother everybody else with their bullshit.
The GCC, which are the Gulf states, they control a considerable amount of oil relative to their population or their sizes. They control about 20% of the oil transport in the world, which is consumed by not only us, but China and places like Japan and Europe. If 20% of the oil or global transport of oil is affected and essentially locked out from being transported by the Gulf states, Qatar, Saudi, UAE, from being transported to the rest of us, especially if it's being locked or gatekept or stunted for an extended period of time, people will start to starve. Most of our energy comes from oil. 20% is crazy. I heard projections that if Japan doesn't get a lot of their oil, which does come from the Gulf states as well, they basically fall within 8 to 9 months. Their society collapses. A lot of European countries will go cold. They will collapse. And not only on top of oil being exported, the Strait of Hormuz is needed to get food into the Gulf states as well, because they don't really grow their own food like that, and they don't really have a lot of fresh water reserves. A lot of their oil is transported to us in exchange for food, water, money. So it's a mutual beneficial relationship. And guess who knows that? Iran. They understand how important this choke point is, and they are willing to crash out even though they need this choke point themselves. At this point, it's like a war of attrition. Let's see who dies first. And because they're so extreme and they are the Shia Muslims, they're very prideful, and they will crash out to the end. I don't think people understand, and of course that's an oversimplification of what is currently going on. It gets way more deep, but we are now being dragged into again a global conflict because certain people in the desert of a specific faith in our country who supports those people can't stop beefing with Muslims, and they want to.
Yep, and that's the thing, bro. And it's like, bro, you're not gonna I know the U.S. is capable and strong and whatever. I know we're the strongest country in the world, but, bro, not everybody's just gonna sit there and take that shit, bro. People want their if they have to die with their honor, they're gonna do that shit. I could tell these folks is not playing. If they're going to die for their country to keep living the way that they live, then they're going to do that shit, because our Western ideologies we may look at what they do as bad, you feel me? But that's not how they grew up. That's not what they know. They don't know what we know. We know we have our Western ideologies and our morals and certain things that we don't want to do, even though we have some crazy ass politicians that eat children and all types of shit. But I'll say majority of the people here have their way of thinking. But that doesn't mean we spread our way of thinking to the world. We just keep that within our own vicinity, our own country. You know what I'm saying? That's how we live. We're not forcing how we live on everybody else. We may look at it as bad, but that's not our problem. That's their country. They do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why we keep doing this shit. This is nothing to do with us.
It's just they also feel threatened by Iran having so many ballistic missiles and their nuclear program, them wanting to create nukes for themselves to have more power in their region. It's a whole mess. And this professor right here from Predictive History, Professor Jiang, I believe, formerly from China, now he's in Canada. He genuinely believes we may be entering World War III.
There's NATO. We got their comments for the first time after their Secretary General called Iran a threat to Europe, Israel, and the wider region, saying Europe is really stepping up after this weekend's operations. But when asked if NATO forces would get involved in this situation, he made it pretty clear. He said this is being led by the United States and Israel. So for now, NATO is staying out of it. But of course, as the situation develops, I'll keep you guys updated.
So NATO is staying out of it for now, quote unquote, but I believe they're already involved, because once energy production reaches a point to where it's not sustainable and the Strait of Hormuz is in a point to where Iran is not willing to back up and allow oil to be exported from the Gulfs and imported into these countries, a lot of people will start to suffer. Gas prices will start to significantly increase, and that'll affect food prices. And once food prices increase exponentially and oil prices, gas prices increase exponentially, and people start hurting in the pockets and people start starving, then that's when governments will have to get involved and a lot of bad shit will start to pop off. And I don't want that. Someone here said in the comment section, so Trump has successfully started World War III. As much as I'd like to kind of say, hey, that's an exaggeration, potentially in a way, yes, but indirectly by supporting Israel in their efforts to try and destroy Iran. And I want people to understand, it's not because Israel is kind-hearted and they care about the people of Iran and they want to destroy an oppressive regime. No, they couldn't, they don't care. They didn't just all of a sudden gain a new set of morals. It's because they want regime change so that they can insert their own politicians to have control of Iran, insert their own little puppets in collaboration with the US so that they can have more power. And so that Iran is no longer a threat and that they can have more regional control over the Gulf states. Expansion, more oil, more power. And supposedly this whole thing is supposed to die down in 4 to 5 weeks. So I heard. Hopefully that happens. But it does not look like Iran is backing down. It looks like they're willing to fight to the bitter end. So we'll see what happens. But if you guys want a better understanding, somewhat, sort of, about why we are where we are now, go check out Predictive History on YouTube. Game Theory number 9, the US-Iran War. It should really be titled the US-Israel-Iran War. You know, in that video, it'll talk about the Strait of Hormuz, how important it is, how we got here, why, when, future projections, etc. Someone said, how North Korea waiting for anything to fly their way. That's crazy. Anyways, we'll see what happens. Catch you guys in the next one.
Man, look, bro. I'm not, again, this is gonna be my thing to the end. I would not be involved in that shit, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm not gonna cap. Like, they gonna have to drop a life sentence on my ass, bro, because ain't no way, bro. Like, what? You telling me I gotta fight for some shit like this? If that's the case, bro, if they're the ones telling me I have to go ahead and fight in a war, I hope their kids is fighting in a war too. I hope their kids are fighting in the war too. If I gotta go and fight, these politicians, these government officials, these people with power, your kids better be in that shit. I know they're 18 and above. They better be in this shit too. Because I'm not finna be fighting and your kids sit at home safely while y'all watching TV and watching cartoons and shit while I'm sitting here fighting and dying for shit that I don't give a fuck about. This ain't got nothing to do with me. And Israel, whatever shit, they ain't got nothing to do with the US. Why are we doing it? That shit's ridiculous, bro. But with that being said, that's the end of the video. If y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification button if y'all want to say update on the next video. Let me know in the comment section down below what y'all think. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.